Welcome back. While visiting Egypt, Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida visits the Grand Egyptian Museum in Egypt, and in this context we have the pleasure to have the following phono with Mr. Sameh Shalaby, one of the interior designers of the Grand Egyptian Museum. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Mr. Shalaby, we know that Japan is establishing or building a hall inside the Grand Egyptian Museum. So give us an idea about this, please.
Well, as you know, the most important feature of the Grand Egyptian Museum is the Tutankhamun Gallery, which is the first time in history that the whole findings, the whole treasures of King Tutankhamun would be gathered under one roof. So our task was actually to do some very fine and specific artwork to fit into the image and the value of the Tutankhamun findings. This makes the most of the things were done in this area is actually tailor-made for this museum. So that's, in my opinion, I think this is the most important aspect or the most important thing in the museum.
Yes. So what is the nature also of Japan's participation in other participation in the Grand Egyptian Museum?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yes. What is the nature of Japan's participation in the Grand Egyptian Museum? What are the other features of participation?
Well, actually, I'm not aware of Japan's participation in the design, but I can only talk of what we are doing there, which is the artwork design and the executing of the design in the museum.
Yes. So as Egypt is establishing this great project, the international project, which is Egypt's gift to the world, the Grand Egyptian Museum, what is the effect of the what is the effect of exchanging experience between Egypt and Japan in the field of restoration?
Well, as far as I am concerned, as far as I also have learned in the past years, Japan have been supporting an very interesting project in Egypt, which means that the Egyptian and the Japanese interests are mutual, mainly to present the culture in the right way that it belongs to, and I see that they are very flexible. They are very concerned about how to present the Egyptian treasures as it's worth.
Yes. So, Mr. Sameh, what is the size of the turnout for the celebrations area, which already began to be used experimentally in the Grand Egyptian Museum? We can see concerts have been held there already.
Yes. Well, actually, this is, let's say, the soft opening, the tryout. But the major or the important parts of the museum are still held for the big surprise, which is the grand opening of the Egyptian Museum.
Yes, with the Japanese Prime Minister visit to the Grand Egyptian Museum, what, in your opinion, what is the importance or the effect of the visits of international figures or personalities to the Grand Egyptian Museum?
Well, I have a lot of contacts in various countries in Europe, and I can assure you that there is a huge interest, not only from people interested in the culture, but also celebrities and people who love traveling. They are waiting since a long time for the opening, and I think once the door is opened the demand is going to be huge.
Yes. Also tell us, in what stage have the Grand Egyptian Museum reached until now? Of course, we can see that there's a hall there which has been being where the performance and the concerts have been held there. What about the other parts and halls in the museum? When can we expect the grand opening?
Well, I can tell you that the trials that are being held nowadays is only in the entrance of the museum or the outdoor area of the museum, but the major or the main parts of the museum, the main halls of the museum, are still, let's say, under secrets. Top secret. It's not. It is going to be something which is out of your mind. Something very, very specific, very special.
Yes.
So those halls are not open yet, and they are held and kept under cover until the grand opening comes, where the special effects and the unique artwork that have been done there will be revealed.
Yes.
It is going to be a big surprise for everyone.
Yes, Mr. Sameh, you are one of the interior designers of the Grand Egyptian Museum. So tell me about the interior design, please, there.
Well, actually, to be frank, I mean, there are a lot of designers involved in this. We are executing the design. So we help the designer to design in order that we can get some new ideas, some tailor-made solutions in order to present the artwork or present the treasures in the right way, yes, which is the way that it actually really belongs to how to present such things. I mean, it's very unique, it's very unusual solutions. So there are a lot of people involved with this.
Yes, each hall, of course, has its own interior design. Okay, so tell us about the several halls which each one has its own style.
Well, actually, we tried to, I mean, the designer, the main designer, you know, you have to know that there is like a sort of main designer and some sub-designers
yes,
underneath.
Yes.
Each one was involved into one small sector, and the whole thing came by the main designer and presented to the authorities and to Major General Atif Muftah, who is in charge of coordinating all of those efforts. But I can tell you that each sector had its own flair, had its own idea, had its own touch. So you will not be bored when you go there. I mean, it is something which, it's an experience that can last for several days in order to explore the different feelings, the different treasures, the different styles, the different atmospheres of each hall.
Yes, Mr. Sameh, is there any kind of coordination between the Egyptian designers and foreign designers in establishing the halls of the Egyptian Museum?
Yes, of course. I mean, yes, the key of this coordination is General Atif Muftah. He's the one who's actually everything lands on his desk, and he makes the coordination between the different executors and the different designers, and of course some new ideas come from him, some other ideas come from the Ministry of Antiquities. So it is a very hard job. It is a lot of work, a lot of coordination, and everything has to fit together. And this is a very, very important task.
Yes, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information, Mr. Sameh Shalaby, one of the interior designers of the Grand Egyptian Museum. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break, and I'm going to be back with you.